In one of the wildest momentum-shifting games you'll ever see, the Frankton Eagles dropped a 60-59 home game to rival Lapel on Saturday night at the Eagles Nest. We have the recap for you and an interview with Frankton head coach Brent Brobston on this special edition of the Frankton Eagles Report. Before we get to the details from the game and our interview with Brent Brobston, I want to tell you what's going on at the Central Indiana Sports Report. We have a Frankton Eagles report every Wednesday where we catch up with the team, talk to Coach Brobston about what happened the previous week, talk about what's coming up the following week, and get to know the team. We also will recap each game and talk to Coach Brobston afterwards. We also have reports for IU, Purdue, the Pacers, Colts, IndyCar, the Fever, and the Elwood Panthers, and we're looking to add more all the time. Coming up on Sunday on the Central Indiana Sports Report is our college football report with Michelle Garman. Her thoughts on her alma mater, Indiana Hoosiers, advancing to the national championship game. And on Monday, we'll have our Pacers report with Mike Rich and the Strictly Biased podcast with Will Rutherford, where he will look back at Wild Card Weekend in the NFL. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt. With me here is producer Susie, and we can be found anywhere you find your podcasts: Apple, Amazon, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that stuff. Like, subscribe, and please, if you like our coverage of the Frankton Eagles, share this podcast with a Frankton fan in your life. Help us spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is talking about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about every single day. Susie, this game had more runs than a baseball game with bad pitching. Lapel started the game on an 11-0 run. Frankton answered by outscoring the Bulldogs 14-4 the rest of the quarter. Lapel then outscored Frankton 12-5 to open the second. The Eagles ended the half on an 11-3 run to tie the game at halftime. Frankton outscored the Bulldogs 19-9 in the third quarter, and that was despite Lapel scoring the final 6 points of the period. Lapel then extended the run into the fourth quarter with 15 straight points by scoring the first 9 points of the fourth to close what was a game-high 17-point deficit to get within a point at 49-48. Guess what happened then, Susie? Frankton went on another run, this time 8-0, to go up 57-48 with just a minute 49 to go. But Owen Garber scored 7 points in the final minute, and Lapel ended on a 12-2 run, and the Eagles failed to get off a shot in the final seconds in the 60-59 loss. Frankton is now 7-4 on the season, 3-4 in their last 7 games after a 4-0 start. Lapel is 5-3 after its first win of 2026. Lapel All-State quarterback Devin Craig had a huge fourth quarter and led all scorers with 23 points. Liam Coe got the Bulldogs off to a great start and finished with 13, and Garber scored 7 of his 10 points in the final minute. Blake Nickham had a great game on both ends for Frankton and drew a lot of praise from head coach Brent Brobston, which you'll hear coming up. He was 10 for 12 from the field and led the Eagles with 20 points. He also had 6 rebounds and 5 steals. It was his defense that got the Eagles started after falling behind 11-0. Liam Coe hit a couple of threes and scored on a Garber steal and assist before a Craig 3 put the Bulldogs up 11-0. 5.5 minutes into the game, Nickham finally got Frankton on the board. He then had a steal for a basket, an offensive putback, and after an Ashton Brobston long 2, Nickham turned another steal into a basket to cut the deficit to 15-12 with 38 seconds left in the opening period. Trey Bennett then put back a Nickham miss in the final seconds, and it was Lapel 15, Frankton 14 after the first quarter. After a Brobston 3 tied it, 7 minutes left in the second quarter, Craig scored 6 straight points to kick off a Lapel 8-2 run before the Eagles closed on an 11-3 run to tie the game at 30-30 at halftime. Brobston scored 8 points in the second and finished with 15 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and a blocked shot. The Eagles opened the second half on a 19-2 run that put them up a game-high 17 points after Nickham scored 4 straight to make it 49-32. Ethan Stansberry hit a pair of threes and a free throw line jumper during the spurt and finished with 10 points, his 5th double-figure scoring game of the year. Lapel closed the third quarter on a 7-0 run after Coe scored on a fast break layup at the buzzer. The Bulldogs then scored the first 8 points of the fourth. Luke Jones' putback with 4:32 left drew Lapel within a point. Again, Frankton answered. The Eagles didn't score until 3:44 remained in the quarter, but Nickham's basket started an 8-0 run. After Brobston scored 4 straight points, including a basket on a steal and assist from Nickham, Nickham made it 57-48 with 1:49 left on a putback that seemed to seal the win. But 3 straight Garber steals, 2 of them on inbounds passes, allowed Lapel to get back in the game and eventually win it on a 3-point play by Garber with 6 seconds left. Looking at the box score, Trey Bennett finished with 7 points and a team best 8 rebounds. Eli Birch scored 5 points and Noah Melvin finished with 2 points and led the Eagles with 5 assists. Lapel has a double weekend coming up. They are at Hamilton Heights on Friday to face the 3-7 Huskies, and then they're at home on Saturday to face 9-3 Connorsville. Frankton only has one game this coming week, and it is at Madison Grant on Friday in a CIC game. The Argyles are 2-7 after Friday's 64-49 loss to Blackford. The Eagles are still looking for their first conference win. We will be back on Wednesday for this week's Frankton Eagle Report. I believe the plan is to meet some of the Frankton seniors. I'm also trying to find a co-host who attends every Frankton game. Please text me at 502-533-3161 if you're interested or may know somebody who may be. Please stay tuned for Frankton head coach Brent Brobston. Well, Coach, that was a wild one.
Yes, not the finish that we wanted. Played a game of spurts. Obviously, they came out and played really well early, and then we came back and got it tied up. Then we came out in the third quarter and played extremely well, and then they came back again and tied it up, and then we went on another run to get up 8, and then they came back and they won. So yeah. I don't know if I've been a part of a game that's that many spurts for a long time, but
crazy.
You got to give credit to Lapel. They came back and won and earned it, and we just needed to take care of the basketball at the end of the game.
Yeah, difficulty getting the ball in bounds late in the game really cost you.
It was the difference there at the end. I felt like a lot of our guys played some of their best games of the season. Stansberry, Nickham, Ashton, Bennett, Melvin had 5 assists. He played solid and defensively, forced Eli Birch off the bench, but ultimately it just didn't prove to be enough when you had to take care of it there in the last 45 seconds. Yeah. And I feel for our kids because I think that they played really hard, but I thought both teams did. I thought both teams played extremely hard. Both teams got after it, and Lapel's a good team. We got beat by a good team, so we just got to get better.
Coach, if you don't mind our asking, since there was no shot at the end, what was the plan going into the final shot?
We were trying to run Blake Nickham off the back screen and you get him the lob at the basket, and we weren't able to get it, so we abandoned the ball to Eli Birch at that point, wanted him to penetrate the gap. Then he got bottled up there, and they bottled that play up, and we ran out of time.
You talked about there being some positives in this game. Just getting down 11-0 and coming back from that alone was pretty impressive.
Lapel came out and obviously shot the ball extremely well early, and I didn't think we did a good job getting out to them, but they made some shots. They were pumped up, obviously coming in and wanting to beat us, and we didn't match that early, but then we turned it on and matched that, and then really exceeded that in the third quarter and getting that big lead, but just wasn't enough, down the stretch and able to take care of it there. That last minute was critical, and we just didn't execute that last minute very well.
Yeah, really what turned it around was Blake Nickham's defense. He had a really nice night, scoring a lot of points, but I thought his defense was really what got you going early.
He was outstanding all night. He was outstanding. It's hard to take him off the floor because he's playing so well, but he's earned that, and he's really done a good job for us all year, and it's good to see him play so well for us. So super excited for how he played for the team, and just one game. So if we're going to be a good team, we have to understand that we got to get better at the end of a game, and we've got to be able to finish off games like that.
And a pretty good chance you'll see that team again.
That's the thing. You may see them in the sectional, and if we do and we cross paths again, obviously we'll be motivated to hopefully try to win that game.
A bit of a busy schedule right here, 4 games in a week. It slows down a little bit for the next couple of weeks. Only game until the 23rd is at Madison Grant on Friday. What's this week going to be like, and what are you expecting from your team at Madison Grant?
Obviously a conference game, so it's going to be a dogfight down there, so or up there. And I think that, when you go to Madison Grant, it's never easy to win. So it's a team that we cannot overlook. It's a team that can be explosive. Obviously got good guard play. So we don't know everything about them yet because we haven't scouted them yet or worked on our scouting reports officially yet. So we'll start that on Sunday as coaches and try to get back at it. But we just got to continue to take this loss and turn it into a positive here and try to get better and be ready for Madison Grant.
Brent Brobston, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it as always. Thanks so much to Coach Brobston and everyone at Frankton for making this podcast possible. And thank you for listening. Always appreciate it. Please come back on Wednesday for the Frankton Eagle Report. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.